This is Match Game 74, production number 0248, and it's take one. Get ready to match the stars. Morey Amsterdam, Brett Summers, George Kirby, Pflug, Richard Dawson, and Betty White as we play the star-studded Big Money Match Game 74. And now, here's the host of Match Game 74, Gene Rayburn.
Hello there. Thank you, Jenny Olson. Thank you. I love your silk.
What a wild lining.
No, is that not too bad? That's not too bad at all.
Hey.
That's enough. You can stop.
Her hands fell asleep.
I don't want to mention any names, but there are two people on this show wearing wigs. Hey, listen, there is something I must say, though. Beginning today and continuing for 5 days, I am going to be the host on Tattletales, a show that follows this show. And I'm very happy about that. And the reason I'm doing it is Ann Convey, Bert Convey's wife, that's his show, you see, she had a temper tantrum. She says, I want to be on that show. And the only way she could do it is if he were on the show. So they had to have somebody to do the hosting job, and I'm going to do the host so that Ann Convey doesn't have a temper tantrum. Rose Carter and Ella Loretta. Hello there, ladies. How are you today, Rose?
Thank you.
Rose is a current champion with $200, and she's being challenged by Ellen, who's had her first and second round questions, and she has a total of 3 matches to her credit. And your second round question will come up in a moment or so, right after we do a little bit of business with you. All right, here we go. Push the button here and reveal a question for Rose Carter. You need 3 to tie and 4 to win. Everybody plays. Colonel Sanders has been around chickens for so long, he's begun to blank like one. What I said, Rose, was Colonel Sanders has been around chickens for so long, he's begun to blank like one. You think about that for a second while they're finished. Brett, George,
Finished already.
you're finished. Good for
Finished,
you.
yeah. They say I'm
You've been
broken,
around Colonel
finished.
Sanders a long time, too, or chickens.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Brett, what are you doing? When you wear that wig, you just can't think straight, can you?
Honey, it shrivels my brain.
That's what it does.
Colonel Sanders been around chickens so long, when he sees an egg, he lays down on it.
Now
You just laid down on that one.
Colonel Sanders has been around chickens for so long, he's begun to blank like one.
Look like one.
He's begun to look like one. Some people say oh, and some people are
Say
applauding.
yay.
Yeah, some say yay and some say nay. What do you say?
Well, I haven't seen too many chickens with a mustache and a beard. So I think he began to cluck like one.
Cluck like a chicken. Brett, what did you finally think of?
You didn't know I could do imitations.
No, do.
I'm a regular Jonathan Winters. I said talk.
Yes.
I'm
You do
sorry.
imitations, George? Cluck like a chicken. Uh-oh. Got to match everybody else to stay in the game, Rose. Let's see what happens here. Go, Joanne.
Everyone knows
Look.
that chickens have beards.
All right, there's one for you. You've been around chickens for so long, you're going to look like one is her answer. What's yours?
Of course, it's my answer as well.
Look like one there.
Don't blow it, brother.
All right, it's all up to Betty White now.
Oh, it's such a fun position
A win
to
or a
be
lose
in.
or a tie then.
Oh, he's beginning to crow like a...
Close. Ellen wins the game. Come on down, Ellen. Congratulations. That's $100 for you. Now you stand by for a moment or so. We've got to say goodbye to Rose Carter, but she's not going to leave empty-handed. She's got $200 in her account, and we thank you for being with us.
Thank you. I had lots of fun.
Good. Goodbye, Rose. Brett, you didn't wave to Rose. She's gone, Brett. Too late. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, well, you know that you're going to have a go at over $5,000 here in the Big Money Super Match. We polled a recent studio audience, Ellen, and we got their best response to this. Run for blank. Now, the answer they gave most often is worth $500 if you match it. If you match the next one, it's $250 for you. And if you match a third, it's $100 for you. You do have green eyes. And the 3 celebrities are allowed to help Which ones would you like a little help from?
Richard, please.
Richard, please. What do you say, Richard?
Run for your life.
Run for your life. Okay, one more.
Betty.
Betty White?
Run for the money.
Run for the money. Isn't that one for the money?
Run for the money.
Run for the money and two for the show. Okay.
Run for the money.
That's a Chinese saying, isn't it?
No, you give him a good run for his money.
Run for the all right. No, that's right.
That's
I'm only
right.
kidding.
The bank could be in trouble, you're right.
And George.
George Kirby, have you got a response to that? Run for
good.
Run for good?
How about run for president?
No, it's George. We're
Oh, pardon
looking
me.
for a
I'm
response.
sorry. I was just trying to help you.
Well, run for
George.
good, I guess that's all that comes to his mind. Run for good, run for your life, run for your money, and you may choose one of those or give us one of your own. Ellen, what would you like to do?
Well, I thought of run for your life right away, so.
Run for your life, okay? That's what we're looking for. Let's find out if it's up there, and if so, where. First, may we see the $100 response? Run for cover. Now you tell us. Looking for run for your, what is it? Run for your life.
I knew
May
you
we
could do
see the $250 response. Run for the money. Yeah.
3 to get
Run
ready.
and 4 to go. Okay, go ahead. Here's your last chance, Ellen. Run for your life. The $500 response. There it is! Congratulations! Very good, Richard. Okay. Now, Ellen, you've got the $500. We congratulate you, and that means you're going to play for 10 times that amount now, or $5,000. And to collect that, you've got to match one celebrity, and this will have to be an exact match. Choose one now, if you please.
Well, I have to go with Richard.
You have to go with Richard.
Pretty
Okay.
stingy. I won her $500. I didn't even get a hug. Surprise. Later. Mexico City.
It's my show. What do I... No, nothing. I'm only kidding.
I'll see if she has a friend.
Here's the
Watch out for the
$5,000
banker.
question.
Okay.
Blank top. Blank top. T-O-P. Having a little trouble. We got enough music. Hard one. Okay, he's finished. Now, Ellen, we need a response from you that you think will match his answer. How do you fill in that blank? Blank top.
I hope he drinks a lot of soft drinks. Pop top.
Pop top. That's the thing that you pop off of the aluminum can or whatever it is there. All right, for $5,000, may we see your answer?
Mine's just as bad as yours, Donald. I could flat top.
Flat
That's all
top.
I could think of.
What would you have said?
Big top, right?
Big top and pop top was there. Yeah. Okay. That's it.
Well, in that case, you go to Mexico City. I
No
don't care.
anarchy. No
I'm sorry,
anarchy.
Donald.
I just asked what your opinion was.
Got very hostile there, didn't it?
She's up to, it's right, she's up to $600, which ain't bad, and she's going to play another game, which ain't bad either. And we'll start that game right after we have this message. Okay. I tell you, we can't come on the air like that with applause, and it's going to lay an egg here in the studio, but for the benefit of the millions of you at home, we've got to, Morey, got to tell you what Morey just said.
Well, he just written a book.
Yes.
Yeah, I said
Morey's
I have a
written
new cookbook on the
What is it
market for
called?
drunks. Funny you should ask. It's called Betty Cooker's Crock Book.
Thanks for your help, audience. You're a grand bunch. Now we're going to start another game. To do that, we've got to introduce a player with a great deal of pleasure. We present Cathy Miholovich. Hello, Cathy. So you're Cathy Miholovich. Holy mackerel.
Reminds me I must get Parker House rolls for breakfast.
Cathy, you're a very pretty lady, and don't pay any attention to them. Just pay attention to me, will you? Miholovich is a Slavic name, isn't it? You speak Serbo-Croatian?
A little.
A little bit? Were your parents born there or here? There.
No, here.
They were born here, but your grandparents were born there.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to say Dobar Dan? You know what that means?
Dobro fala kako si ti.
Oh, that's very good, you see.
That translation is, can you tell me where the men's room is?
No. She says, I am very well, thank you. How are you? Dobro hvala lijepa kako si ti is what she said there.
Oh, really?
And she said it very well, and she's got a good
tell
accent.
her, come
too.
see, come sa.
No.
Yachimash.
No. I'll push the button here, and we'll begin if you're ready, Cathy. Good luck to both ladies. Here is our first round questions, and we ask the challenger to make a selection.
I'll try A.
A is what she wants. Oh, hey, listen, here's a question, friends.
A query, yes.
It's about All in the Family. Now, you all know that George is one of the world's great mimics and mimes. And George, we all know that you do an impression of Archie and Edith. So I think...
time?
Yeah, well, no, he does them both, not at the same time. But why
Careful,
don't you...
darling, your cord is catching.
Yes. Why don't you do this? You know, there's a little narrative there that I'll give you a chance to look it over for a second. And you play both Archie and Edith as you do in your act there. Would you leave him alone while he's looking it over?
I'm trying to help him through osmosis.
Are you ready? Are you ready, George? Okay, you're on, George.
All right. As Edith Bunker started to kiss Archie, she said, "Oh, Archie, you've got ring around the collar." And Archie said, "Listen, you dingbat, I may have ring around the collar, but you've got blank."
That's it. Says, "Oh, Archie, you've got ring around the collar." And Archie said, "Listen, you dingbat, I may have ring around the collar, but you've got blank." Everybody plays. You've got... Well, come on now, this is such an obvious, easy one.
I don't watch that show.
Well, just from the situation, you don't have to watch a show. You know who Edith Bunker is, and you know who Archie is. She says,
Who
"Oh,
are
Archie,
they?"
you got ring around the collar," and Archie said, "Listen, you dingbat, I may have ring around the collar, but you've got..."
Da-da-da.
I don't know. I'm just playing here. This guy.
All right. All set? George, did you write one?
Not yet.
Not yet? Shall I read? Would you like to read it again?
Be gentle with him.
What would... Come on now, put it down there, what Archie would say to Edith. Eat it, as he says. Eat it! Is the way... Yeah. The H is silent.
I think I have
Be
psoriasis.
gentle with George. He's going through osmosis.
Okay, he's ready now, so we call on Cathy. As Edith Bunker started to kiss Archie, she said, "Oh, Archie, you've got ring around the collar." And Archie said, "Listen, you dingbat, I may have ring around the collar, but you've got..."
Bad breath.
That's the answer. Well, that's a terrific answer there. I thought everybody would say that. But Morey, what did you say?
No, I didn't think so. I think, despite the fact he calls her dingbat, he's still kind of nice to her when it comes to being... He just says, "You've got a ring around your nose."
Ring around your nose. You had to say that, huh?
Why not?
Okay.
Good day for it.
Anybody
Brett,
got
what
any
did you
razor?
say?
That's a real winner, isn't it?
It is.
I wish I could top it.
You
I
can't
said,
bottom it.
what did you say?
But you can't.
I said, you've got no brains.
No brains. That's what I...
I hated that question.
Oh, it was a good
George,
question.
she topped it.
Would you believe it? That's what I figured that he would say. He said, "I may have ring around the corner. You got no brains."
No brains.
Thank you, George.
Well, Bad Brett, I think is a good answer there. What do you say there,
Obviously, they have no brains, and I do because I said bad breath like
lady? There's one for Cathy. Okay. What did you say, Richard?
Archie, I agree with him. No brains, but he would put it that eloquently. He'd say,
Yeah.
"You got nothing upstairs."
That's the way he'd say it, too.
rascal.
Bad breath is the answer she's looking for. What do you say, lady?
I don't like, in deference to my friend Miss Summers, I don't like to say bad breath.
Oh.
I think Brett is very good. As a matter of fact, you have tattletale gray.
Tattletale Gray. Okay, so you scored one match there, Cathy, and your first round question comes up in a moment or so. But right now, friends, we've got to pause for this message of interest. Okay, your first round question reads as follows.
I'm terribly sorry.
Camille.
Well, I was in the terminal row up here this
I
last
know.
week with Don Adams running a fever and Charles Nelson Riley dying of pneumonia or whatever it is he has.
Poor Charles is a little bit under the weather. That's why he's not with us, and we're delighted to have whoever we have with us here today. And
She
Charles
doesn't
will be
get
back
any-
next time.
She doesn't get anything personally. She's just a carrier. I've been sneezing since I sat down here. I'll tell you that.
Shall we get on with it, folks?
Yes.
All right. Would you like to have a go at this? Henry Kissinger's wife called him at work and asked him to bring blank home for dinner. Henry Kissinger's wife called him at work and asked him to bring blank home for dinner. Gull, do not look into my pretty brown eyes. Write something on the write something on the
many
card.
ways to go.
Really?
Well, I do.
Doesn't it give you a lot of faith
Good.
when the Secretary of State has a temper fit on the air?
Yes. Temper. All right, George, we're waiting for you up there. Just trust your first instinct, George, and that'll be okay. There we go. Now we'll call on Ellen. Henry Kissinger's wife called him at work and asked him to bring blank home for dinner.
Nixon.
Mr. Nixon. Okay? She says, bring him home. We'll carve him up. No, she didn't say that. All right, Morey, may we hear your
The
response?
reason why she says bring him home because he likes kosher food.
Oh.
That's why I said.
Oh, there's her. Okay. Brett,
I didn't say Nixon.
you didn't say Nixon.
I said Dick. We're very friendly.
Oh, I see. Okay. George,
I'm very sorry, but I didn't have that one.
you didn't have that one.
And I didn't think that joke was very funny about cutting me up. They wanted me to bring home some Chinese food.
Some Chinese food. Okay. Okay, George. Joanne,
I can't top that.
bring blank home for dinner.
Well, I thought that he'd like to have Gold in my ear home for dinner.
Sure.
She's very
That's
entertaining.
good. No, that's
Well, thank
okay.
you.
Yeah, very good answer. Richard?
Bring Mr. Nixon home for dinner. I think she'd find him very hard to swallow. But what is Henry Kissinger? He is the Secretary of
State.
Richard. Thank you, George.
All right.
That
Now we
goes
go
with
from-
ring around your nose.
Now we go from left field over to Betty White there.
Mrs. Kissinger must be some cut up. She said Nixon.
Nixon. Okay. So that's 3-1 the score now at the end of round one. Let's go to round two and ask Cathy to make a selection.
A.
Hey, listen, you know, I was so enchanted to see this pretty lady when she came out here. I forgot to
bet
ask
you
her the
were.
story of her life. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about Cathy, where you live and all that?
Well, I'm from Montebello, and I'm an executive secretary, and I love to travel. In fact, I just got back from a vacation in Mazatlan where I caught my first marlin, 168 pounds.
Where did you go to
All by
catch that?
myself.
Where?
Mazatlan, Mexico.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Deep sea fishing. 168.
168 pounds? What'd you do with it?
I'm going to have it mounted.
Really?
Holding
They won't
hands.
believe me. They won't believe it until they see it.
That's really terrific. I think that's marvelous. Okay. Let's go on.
Does she have
Are you married, Cathy?
Single.
You're single?
She's single.
Yes.
Just a second.
No, none of that on this show. This is not the date.
I'm going to talk about marlin with you a little later.
Okay.
We'll do some
Not the
tuna
dating
fishing.
Here we go. When Big Rocco...
That's enough for me.
No. When Big Rocco saw the terrible room the hotel gave him, he threw the blank out the window. When Big Rocco saw the terrible room the hotel gave him, he threw the blank out the window. You're the only one who doesn't play, right?
I know.
Yeah, right.
We matched.
Okay. You matched in the first round. Big Rocco, you see, when he saw the terrible
I
room...
have two or three answers
Okay.
in mind, so I just...
Oh, there's one terrific one.
There's one terrific one.
One terrific one.
It's easy for you to say. You're not up here under pressure.
Making a fool of yourself.
Okay, Cathy, when Big Rocco saw the terrible room the hotel gave him, he threw the blank out the window.
The bed.
The bed? That's not the terrific answer I had in mind. But now that I hear it, I guess it's not too bad. No?
There was no bed. That's why he got mad.
Oh.
He picked a bellboy up and threw him out
That's
the window.
the answer I had, the bellboy. Bellboy. Brett?
I was torn between bellhop and manager, so I put bellhop, but I guess I should have put bed.
Oh. Okay, George.
Well, if he's big and bad like I think he is, he's gonna throw the bed out the window.
Throw the bed out the window. Okay. Throw the bed out the window. What do you say, Richard?
You know, a pretty girl like that single.
Yeah.
Like a yo-yo, I wrote bellboy. Will you ever forgive me? Will you?
Yes.
Don't just leave me here. Tell me, will you forgive me?
No, she will not
I'll
forgive
learn
you.
Slavic or whatever language it is. We'll go marlin
Well, that's
fishing.
enough there.
You attend to your business, I'll attend to mine.
Show us your card,
I
would you
don't
please?
want to because I am bellhop. I don't want to do that.
So, Ellen Loretta wins the game. Congratulations. That's another $100 for you. Well, Cathy, I'm sorry to see you go. We have a gift for you, together with our thanks, and as we say in Serbo-Croatian, Zbogom. Well, that means God be with you. Thank you. Cathy Mihalovic. We'll be back in a moment, right after this message. We're going to get this whole bunch together again at some soon date and do it all over. Gene Rayburn for Match Game 74. Goodbye.
This is Johnny Olson speaking for Match Game 74. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production. Stay tuned for Tattletales next over most of these CBS stations.